Welcome everybody, my name is Krush AK and this is the Market Meditations podcast. We chat with fascinating people from around the world to extract mindsets, routines, stories and habits to help you build richer lives. Today I am joined by my friend Andre, better known as Devchart. He is the co-founder of Chart Alerts, a fantastic trader and one of our favorite meme lords on Twitter. There's a lot to learn from his journey, how he's managed to build his business and presence in the Twitter space. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Hello, Andre.
Hey, Kurush. How are you doing?
I'm doing really well, man. Thanks for joining me. It's about time I got you on.
Thanks for having me.
My pleasure, bro. I mean, how long ago was it that we met?
I think, if I remember correctly, we met around 2018. I was actually one of your early followers, and we just started chatting, and and I started liking, all your analysis and all your videos, especially the tutorial ones. So I started reaching out to you and talking, and then I think you started giving me some advice and kind of pushed me to start documenting my trading journey, and that's actually one of the reasons why I started my Twitter account. It was thanks to you. So I don't think that many people on Twitter know that. So that's pretty much how we met back then.
Well, my pleasure, man. I'm so glad I got you into the space because, I mean, you've integrated as an essential part of the space right now, man. You've got one of the best alert platforms out there. You're a very, very well-respected trader. You post a lot of incredible setups and your memes. Let's not forget about your incredible memes, which is also an essential part of the space. I mean, people laugh at memes a lot, but wouldn't you agree that it is a form of art and it helps the space grow? I mean, people genuinely love memes.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I don't understand why people think that, you have to keep trading super serious, At the end of the day, you have to make it enjoyable for people, you have to make it easy for people to understand. You have to make it enjoyable. And I find memes as a pretty good medium for that.
How else do you try and make your feed enjoyable for people?
I focus mostly on making my setups really easy to understand. If you take a look at all the setups that I post, it's really simple. I don't put a lot of writing. I just draw the basic minimum and for people to understand, and just add just a few explanation and add some drawings like arrows and things like that to pretty much make it really easy to understand. What people say, the KISS method, keep it simple, stupid. That's pretty that's pretty much what I focus on. And just pretty much try to remain positive, and and try to contribute as much as you can and help people. That's pretty much it.
Honestly, I couldn't agree more with you on the simplicity topic, simply because it works on a few levels. On the one hand, if you can explain something simply, it means you understand it very well. And that's something that clearly shines through in your analysis. Also, on the other hand, it shows you know what you're looking for. I've personally noticed a lot of people who are trying to be disingenuous with the services they sell. They try to make trading more complicated than it is, to either make you think you need to learn from them, or make you think that they have some special secret sauce that if you buy from them, you'll start making money off of.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that's one of the method that a lot of scammers use. If you can impress someone and make them think that you're extremely knowledgeable, they will be more interested into pretty much buying that magical solution that you're selling. If you make them believe that you are this guru of trading, that more than they do, then you will increase your sell. And I think you also noticed that there were a bunch of people on Twitter that actually do that try to be as cryptic as possible, and that's how they operate. And it's pretty much unfortunate. I don't know how people actually react to those, because if I see a chart that I don't really understand and that has too much is just too much. Like I wouldn't be interested. I would just skip it.
I mean, that's why I really liked Elliot Wave when I personally started. And I still do like and respect Elliot Wave, but I think it's more complicated than analysis need be. Did you ever have any trouble with scammers before you, say, were more aware and knowledgeable of their tricks and secrets?
Absolutely. Yeah. And that was one of the problems that I encountered when I actually joined CT in the beginning. Uh, because, like you said, people who were using Elliott Wave and all other like methods that I consider as kind of complicated, I just automatically assumed that they were extremely knowledgeable because I didn't understand what they were talking about. So they knew more than me, and they were people that I should rely on. And that's why that back in 2017 we all thought that Eric Cho was just this freaking genius, and he got just a bunch of followers and he managed to scam a bunch of people doing things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I hate giving attention, so I avoid mentioning his name, but yeah, absolutely, he is a perfect example of someone who really hurt a lot of people.
Yep, it's unfortunate, and it actually went for a while before he finally. I think now more people are aware that he's a scammer and try to avoid him, but it took a really long time for that to happen.
On a macro level, how do you propose CT deal with this? Because honestly, I used to occasionally call people out. It's never really been my thing, but I've seen people call loads of people out, even do entire articles with loads of evidence, but it doesn't do anything. What's the solution? Did you have any idea how we can self-police and handle this?
Well, this is kind of a complicated issue because I'm the kind of person that used to call scammers and LARPers and people like that a lot. I've been doing it for years, and we also have a lot of people on Twitter that did that. That they, like you said, there were some people who wrote some articles that just kept on warning people, but it didn't do much. It didn't do much for two reasons. Like first, you cannot reach that many newbies. All your article and all your tweets will only reach a limited amount of people, so only a few people will know about that. And on top of that, even if you manage to reach those people and kind of explain to them that this person is a scammer, they will not necessarily believe you. I think that's the other problem. And there is one other problem that we noticed, and it's a little unfortunate, is that a lot of people actually enjoy these type of scams. And by this type of scams, I mean the pumps and dumps. So I've noticed that a lot of people actually kind of like being close to the people who do the pumps and dumps, just because there is a possibility that they will pump their coin so that they can just dump on other people. So they're just taking advantage of that. Now, to answer your question, is there a solution for it? I can just tell you that most of the people who were trying kind of gave up. So it's kind of unfortunate. We can just keep on warning people on Twitter, but I don't think there is a real solution for that, unfortunately.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's very hard to come up with a solution, and the evidence shows that just mob justice, calling people out, attacking them, really is only a short-term effect that most people who are determined enough end up recovering from. I mean, one solution I personally found and try to enforce is to ignore them and to focus on delivering good quality content. And by continually delivering value and building a community, we can hopefully push those people into corners of the market where they don't really have much of a reach, and the only people that end up there are the people that don't find the good quality products, which honestly I do believe Chart Alerts is one of.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good idea, and you're right to think that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, of course, you think I'm right, but I'd love to hear a bit more about chart alerts because I've been following that project closely for a while now.
Sure. So I can just do a quick background. So Chart Alerts is a cryptocurrency alerts scanner and analytics platform that kind of allow you to spend less time looking at charts by just scanning every coin of a specific exchange in multiple time frames. We actually allow you to scan through the 15-minute, the 1 hour, the 4 hour, and the daily, and it will alert you when there are some good trading opportunities. And it's also fully customizable per exchange. And you can choose some specific indicators. And with those indicators, you can set up different alerts, such as the price approaching support resistance, RSI divergences, price finding support on specific EMAs, price breakout, RSI oversold, overbought, EMA crosses, MACD crosses, and candlestick reversal patterns. So you pretty much just set up those indicators, and the platform will just scan the exchange and alert you when it finds a coin that matches this criteria. So our goal was to just help you traders not waste many hours, just looking at charts all day, and just allowing the tool to do that legwork for you.
What I
Yeah.
really love about that is you're not selling signals. You're not saying this tool will make make you money. You're saying this tool will save you time.
Yep, that was the main goal actually, because when you think about it, in our current market, when people think about bots, they think about something that gives you buy or sell signals, and I don't really like that, because with those you have no idea what are the criteria. You pretty much just rely on somebody's algo, and you can only either trust that the backtesting was done properly, or trust that the coding was done properly. And this is something that I wanted to avoid. So we wanted to let the user set their own criteria, set their own indicators, and it will alert you when that criteria happen. So you are pretty much responsible for the alerts that you will be receiving.
Yeah, now that's pretty awesome because I know there are some other people in the market doing that right now, but I haven't really seen them do it with the same UI and interface that you provide. It's completely different. Not only that, but I know you have a lot of plans for expanding chart alerts and really making it a lot more than something that helps give you alerts when certain things happen on the charts.
With our next release, we are releasing our new scanner, which will take a chart alert to the next level. And it will pretty much allow the user to do a quick market check and find trading opportunities within minutes, instead of spending like 2 hours in the morning going in TradingView and checking coin after coin. You will just have to use our scanner, and you will have a view of the whole market, and you can quickly sort and find the best opportunities instead of actually waiting for the alerts. So that's the way it differs from the alert, is that you don't have to wait for anything. You can just log in, do a quick check, find the opportunities, log out, and you're done. So that's one of our next release, one of the tools that we're releasing for our next release. And on top of that, we are also releasing a few analytics tools that will help you make decisions about the market. Something like a short, long, open interest versus volume versus price, liquidation level, funding comparison across multiple exchanges, and we'll be adding more and more to help the user pretty much make the best trading decisions.
Well, yeah, I absolutely love it. If you take a step back and ignoring the specifics of chart alerts, at the end of the day, you've built a pretty successful business, and it's been developed. I know chart alerts hasn't been around since you joined the space, but chart alerts, everything you did in order to grow your following and establish a reputation in the space was a part of the creation of chart alerts. So when you joined, did you have the intention of building something like this? And if not, what made you decide that, oh, this is the best way for me to spend my time?
When I joined crypto Twitter, I had no idea that, I will be part of something like chart alerts. Uh, when I joined, I just wanted to pretty much focus on learning how to trade. And when I started learning how to trade, I saw how time consuming it was. So I decided to start building tools that will help me, uh, pretty much help me with my trades. So I started building those trading view indicators that I kind of got popular for on Twitter. So after that, I decided to take it to the next level because the trading view indicators were kind of limited. And with my computer engineering background, I just decided to start looking at ways to pretty much build a tool that will find those opportunities for me. So that's how it started. It was just build a tool that will help me trade. And once I started using it and we started seeing that it was really helpful, my partner and I we just decided to think, hey, what if we actually turn that into a company? Since this is kind of a niche area and it will actually be helping people and it will be in demand. Let's just try to release it as a tool accessible for other people. And yeah, and after that, we just released it and it started getting popular. And we just started working more and more on it and just releasing more updates and building on top of it. And yeah, that's pretty much the story of Chartlers.
It's always reassuring to hear people who build successful businesses taking the approach of delivering value first and then being concerned about the money. So you didn't even intentionally, you built something that delivered value to you as a trader and decided, oh, this delivers value to me. I can make it into a business and help deliver value to other people and get charged for my efforts and time. And that a business was created.
Yep, pretty much.
Let's take a step away from the business now, and I'd love to hear a bit more about your trading in particular. Did your trading journey start when you joined Twitter, or was it before that?
My first foray into cryptocurrency started back in 2011. I was in college and I first heard of Bitcoin. I think it was around $10 or $11, something like that. And a few of my college buddies were talking about mining it. And unfortunately, I didn't pay much attention, because I mean, it was such a new thing, and I was more interested in dating and other things than actually mining Bitcoin. Something that I actually regret now, but it is what it is. Then the next time I heard about Bitcoin was after the MTGOX hack, and when Bitcoin actually crashed to $400, and that's when I actually made the connection. I said, man, like the price increased that much. That's just crazy, crazy. But then because of all the FUD surrounding Bitcoin, we all thought that, that was the end of it, that it will not recover. And I did not have that buy the dip mentality. So I just read about it and just forgot about it. Then fast forward a few years, back in January 2017, when Bitcoin finally breached $1,000, that's when all the news media started talking about it, and I decided to just started to look into it. But I missed the buying it at 1,000, so I just let it go back to 2,000, and then it had to 3,000, and I started getting mad, missing that opportunity, and then the price dipped a little to 1,800, and that's when I decided to start buying Bitcoin. And that was the first time that I actually bought Bitcoin. I think it was around July. So I just bought it, and as soon as I bought it, the price just started increasing, and I was so happy. I felt like a genius investor. I was like, man, like I just invested that much money, and it just my portfolio value just started increasing. And after that, I decided to look at other cryptocurrency. And I don't know if you remember back then, the one currency that everybody was talking about beside Bitcoin was Ethereum. And everybody was just mentioning how Ethereum was about to, overtake Bitcoin. And they even called that event the flippening. And so I actually was because of that, I decided to put a lot of money in Ethereum back in August 2017. and I was just ready to, become like super rich. I was already thinking of Lamborghinis and mansions. And then after that, the China ban happened. So I saw the price of Ethereum dip from 350 to 250. So I lost a good chunk of my portfolio back then. Uh, it wasn't really, it was really pleasant, but I just decided to wait for it and did try to diversify into other cryptocurrencies. But I didn't know much about them, so I decided to join Facebook, and that's when crypto Facebook was at the high, like so popular back then, because a lot of people just heard about Bitcoin in the news and all the other cryptocurrencies. So everybody just started joining those crypto Facebook groups. So I joined a few of them, and I started learning more about those other cryptocurrencies. And I just decided to start investing in a few of them. I started with Siacoin, Cardano, Tron, and XM, NEM. So I just bought those four, and I just kept them. And of course, the bull run started happening, and my portfolio just like exploded in value. And I just couldn't believe it. I was like, "Hey, I just made so much money, and I'm just going to become like a multi-millionaire." Because everybody by then was, I think, after December 2017, everybody was talking about how Bitcoin was going to reach $100,000 within like a couple of months, and so we all thought that it could only go up, right? And then, of course, January 2018 happened, and that's when the price just started dipping. And after that, thankfully, I had a few friends that kind of convinced me to take some profit. So I sold about half of my portfolio. I just cashed it, and I kept the rest, which was still kind of substantial. And I decided to just invest it in ICOs, but because back then, I don't know if you remember, ICOs were just a craze. Like everybody was like following Ian Balina and all the other peoples that were doing ICOs. So I just decided to start investing in ICOs. And I got lucky in a few ICOs, but most of them, the value just plummeted. So I just kept seeing the remaining portfolio value just like dwindling, and kept the value just kept decreasing. So after a while, I just got tired, and I cashed out around, I think it was around May. I cashed the remaining in USDT after losing quite a bit amount of money. And yeah, and I decided to, and I didn't trade much after that. So after that, I just decided to start looking at crypto Twitter. So that's when I joined, and I started following you and all the other guys like Philocon, Eric Cho, all the other guys. And I was just pretty much following those trades and try to to find like some good opportunities to make money. But it didn't really work out, to be honest. So after that, I just talked to you, and I just decided to start actually learning about TA and start documenting my journey, and here we are.
Wow, what a journey, man. I'm glad I was the pivoting point to the profitable trading and the end of the gambling.
It was just gambling. Like I was at a point where I had so much money where I would just look at an ICO. It actually reminds me of what we're going through now with Uniswap. You just look at a few coins and you just throw money and hope that a few of them will 10x. That was pretty much me back with the ICOs. I would just like throw $5,000, $10,000, and just wait for it. But the problem is after February or March, I think most of the ICOs have negative return. Like before that, like even like you could find a few of them that would 2x or 3x, but yeah, after that it was just you would invest and it will go 50% down on listing, and it will just keep going down. And I think all the ICOs from back then, they are currently at negative 90 or negative 99%. It was unfortunate, but I remember a lot of people losing like their whole life saving.
Yeah, I mean, both of us have been through that 2017 experience, and that is what makes making money in 2020. I hate using this word because it feels arrogant, and I know you're supposed to be humble in the markets, but honestly, 2017 has made 2020 easy mode. Like, just control your risk and expose yourself to whatever's trending, and speculation pays off really well. It's the accumulation of the hundreds, if not thousands, of hours we've spent in the space familiarizing ourselves with the ebbs and flows of it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, once you've been through the bull run, you already know what to expect. So, and you tell yourself that, okay, back then I made a lot of mistakes. This time I'm ready for it. So I know more about risk management. I know more about not, not just wasting all my portfolio or just losing all my money. I will just only invest what I can afford, things like that. And I think that's why now we are actually more ready to make money, like you said, in 2020. And yeah, I'm just really excited about this year so far. It's been a pretty good year.
Yeah, it's been pretty fantastic. I mean, I've been a little bit late to get on the DeFi craze, but I still managed to do pretty well on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Chainlink. Now I'm very much focused on the DeFi projects, not just the ones that are doing pretty well, like Yearn Finance and Polkadot, but also trying to get in on more of the early investment opportunities, simply because there's so much potential upside over there. I mean, I know people that have made absurd amounts of money getting in early on certain DeFi coins.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is like you said, this is where like most of the money is on the early investments. Like if you get in early, you're pretty much set for retirement money, especially if that project just like succeed. So just imagine if you actually bought like Yi-Fi or Wi-Fi, whatever it's called, back in pre-sale. Just try to imagine that. What is it now?
Yeah,
Like 1,000x, I think.
yeah, even if you bought it when it launched and hit the exchanges, it's gone up over 800% since then. It's been absolutely insane. There is opportunity absolutely everywhere in this market for everyone, whatever stage you are coming in at with these projects, except, the people getting in at the top, the final people that get dumped on, because that's
Yep.
what 2017 teaches us.
Yep, and it's unfortunate that it's still happening. One of the most recent example that I can think of was the sushi craze. When sushi actually that the sushi was one of the coin that actually made me quite a bunch of money because when it came out, I think when it got released, one of the whales just dumped all their tokens, so the price just crashed 99%, like on the first day. And
Wow.
it was, I think, around $0.74. That's when I actually bought some. And I mean, I didn't put that much money, I just put like, I think, a few $1,000s, and I just forgot about it. And then I started seeing the price just increasing and increasing, and it just went to like $6. And I was like, oh, wow, that's actually that was actually a pretty good investment. And after that, I think like Sam, the CEO of FTX, just started like kind of implying that he was really interested into listing it, and that's when a lot of people just started like picking up on it, and it got listed on FTX, and then it got listed on Binance, and the price just pumped to $15. I managed to sell around $10, $9, but there were a lot of people that I'm talking to who actually bought around that price because that's what happened. When the price just start pumping a lot, people just FOMO on it. And if you look at the sushi chart, as soon as it got listed into Binance, it just pumped to $15 and dumped, like I think in less than 15 minutes, back to like $9, and it just started dropping since then. So there's still a lot of people holding like bags from that price.
Yeah, and they'll probably, in most cases, always be holding those bags. That's what, honestly, it's one trade that can separate consistent, great profit from losing everything you've made. That's why it sounds so simple, but managing your risk is the single most important thing in this sort of market. Obviously, that comes with psychology management as well, because if your mindset isn't on point, you can't implicate the risk management techniques you know you should to limit your downside, because you can catch as many of these as you can and continually increase your portfolio size. You can go from $1,000 to 100,000, a million, or 10 million. It doesn't make a difference, because losing 99% or even 90% of 1,000, 100,000, or a million suddenly turns life-changing money into close to nothing. And when you do end up losing that money, no one cashes out and says, "Oh, I'll call it a day." They think the market owes them something. They're like, "Oh, okay, I've lost 90%. Now how do I get 100,000 to a million?" It just doesn't work like that. The market doesn't care how much money you used to have. So getting from 1,000, 100,000 to a million when you used to have a million is the same as trying to get from 100,000 to a million in a normal instance. It sounds obvious, but people don't seem to get that difference.
I think this is one of the problem, and it comes with also the concept of revenge trading. When you lose that much money, when your portfolio just drop like 50% overnight, you are not in the mindset of trying to rebuild it by, getting 2% trades and 1% trades and just compounding. That's like, I think the majority of people don't think like that. They are just hoping to catch that one, like 50% trade, the trade that will give you 50% profit. And then on top of that, you will make another trade that will give you 100% profit, so that you will actually make back the amount that you lost in the least amount of time. And that is unfortunate, but I think that's how most people think. And that is the perfect recipe to actually lose even more money.
Yeah, trying to get rich quick is often the fastest way to go broke really, really quickly. And obviously, you shared you had a few of your own experiences early on where the emotions took over. I mean, you also mentioned Facebook, crypto Facebook. I didn't even know we had a crypto Facebook.
I think crypto Facebook was 10 times bigger than crypto Twitter at its peak. But think of it that way. So crypto, what I noticed is that crypto Twitter was more knowledgeable about cryptocurrencies. Crypto Facebook was just your average Joe and average Jane. It's just regular people that just heard about cryptocurrency on the news, and they would just come and buy the cheapest coin. I think the best way to describe them would be they're kind of like the same people who were buying Dogecoin on Robinhood just because it was cheap. That was pretty much crypto Facebook back then. Like no concept of market cap, no concept of how to actually calculate like a value. They wouldn't even look at what the project was about. They would just go on coin market cap, just sort by the cheapest coin, and they would just buy it. And that is why back then most of the coins that had like a huge amount of supply, like in the billions, they would all often just pump like 100%, 1,000% a day. And I actually I made some money just like anticipating those people. So every time like someone will release a coin that had 100 billion market cap, I would just buy it and wait, because I knew that as soon as that coin would reach 50,000 trading volume, it will get listed on coin market cap, and that's when people will actually look at it and buy it. So that was actually a pretty valid technique of making money back in 2017.
I fully believe that. I mean, I joined the space in 2017 as well. Not publicly. I was like you, lurking about, trying to make money on cryptos. And One thing I've learned is that there is more than one way to skin this cat. This cat being trading. You're you get some very religious people that say price action is the only way to trade, fundamentals are the only way to trade, Elliott wave is the only way to trade, when in fact there are so many inefficiencies in this crazy market that we have that there are a plethora of ways in which you can make money. It doesn't even have to be trading, man. You could start making art for people on crypto Twitter, and that alone can start earning you income. I mean, someone recently drew a cool portrait of me. I retweeted it and said if he wanted me to pay him for it. He didn't want payment. He just wanted me to donate to his charity, which I did. But it just shows the amount of opportunity that can come in a space like this. And it doesn't even have to be trading. There's so many ways to make money here.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Like, I think talking about that, I haven't really participated in it, but I've seen a lot of big accounts mentioning something about crypto digital art. Like people like Crypto Gains and Bagsy, I think they've been actually buying those. So the people who have been doing those have been making a lot of money recently. So, like you said, this is you can do art, you can like sell things, and you can find different ways to make money. And it doesn't just have to be trading, definitely.
Yeah, well, hopefully our conversation does end up motivating more people to try get involved in the space, because at the end of the day, the goal here is to use crypto to create something which is better than our fundamentally flawed financial system at the moment. Crypto really has the potential to change the world, and the more we build this community, the more talent we bring into it, the more likely it is that that's going to happen.
Yeah, I perfectly agree. And I'm seeing a lot of new people actually getting into crypto now. By getting into crypto, like I mean, starting their account, building followers, and actually delivering value. Uh, Now, do we actually get more people from as many people as we did back in 2017? Yeah, I don't think we're close to that, but hopefully in the near future we can start attracting more and more people. But yeah, I think that we still have a lot of people that are actually trying to deliver some value, and it's we have a pretty good future, I think, in the space.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. To get closer to the 2017 levels, we definitely need, uh, honestly, we need the majors to move like they did back then. We need Bitcoin to be making new highs. We need Ethereum to be breaking their all time highs, not just pumping up from lows, but really doing something they haven't done before, because the normies or normal people rather who aren't as obsessed with the space as we are, they don't know about the DeFi Uniswap coins going crazy. If you tell them about sushi, yams, or chicken tenders, they'll think you're talking about food items.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Now, yeah, like you said, I think the main one would be that Bitcoin actually go back to all-time high and actually breach it. That would be the main catalyst for the news and the media to just start talking about crypto currencies again. And usually when Bitcoin reaches that level, it is usually followed by all the altcoins. And that will pretty much generate the next bull run and will attract more and more people into the space.
Well, Andre, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show. I definitely see you as a friend now. We've known each other a long time, and we spent a lot of time speaking as well. So it's been quite easy talking to you throughout this. I'd love to know if there's anything you'd like to leave the audience with, any message you'd like to give before we draw this podcast to a close.
Yeah, so I think the only message that I would tell the audience is like, don't be afraid to start learning. I think most of the people were in the situation that I was back in 2018, where I prefer to rely on other people for my technical analysis and to give me investment advice. And because I considered that I wasn't knowledgeable enough for that. And it wasn't until I decided, to force myself to learn that I discovered that anybody could just go and learn and start actually trading. And hopefully become profitable. That's the only message that I would like to tell people, is just start now. Just, it doesn't matter how long it takes. Like, your future self will thank you.
Fantastic advice, Andre. Don't give up. Don't be afraid to start. You're capable of more than you can believe. I've had a lot of successful people on this show, and a recurring theme has been mindset over everything. Believe in yourself. It sounds cheesy, but it is the truth. If you believe you can do something, you will find a way to make it happen, and you won't let obstacles stop you. Just like Andre's managed to join the space, create a hugely successful business, learn to trade, and he's going to do a lot more in the future, I'm sure. Thank you for tuning into this episode of Market Meditations. Andre, hopefully the show does well, and I can have you on again in a year or two.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, and I will be happy to be back.
Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Market Meditations podcast. If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like us to continue bringing you fascinating people from across the world, please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever else you like to listen to these podcasts, and share the episode with a friend. If you have feedback or an idea for a potential guest, reach out to me on Twitter @KarushAK, and do not forget we write a newsletter covering all important topics in crypto and traditional markets. We send it out 3 times a week. The Market Meditations newsletter. You also get early access to these episodes, and you get transcripts and extra notes as well, so make sure to subscribe there as well.